Hey, hello there, everybody.
$900?
Oh, we've been trying $100. Thank you so much, everybody. No, really, thank you. I am GrizzzzBear with 4 Zs. This is going to be Prince of Persia at the Sands of Time. Now, there is one thing that I do want to note. I am expecting 1 crash during the run. If that happens, I do have a safety save, but I am expecting at least something to go wrong. It's 2 o'clock, half 2 in the morning, so if something doesn't go wrong now, then ooh, I think we might have a problem. But oh well, it's Sands of Time. You expect stuff to go wrong. So, do I just smash this button when I'm ready to go?
Yeah.
Right, so, technically time actually does start when you gain control of the prince, so I'm going to have to do a 10-second countdown just to make sure the time is started correctly. So, yeah, if you can all count down from 10 seconds, please, Paulister. Yes, can you press the button on go? So, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smash that. Thank you. So yeah, this is Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. There's a lot of movement mechanics that actually go into this game. Hopefully I will be able to do a skip straight away as soon as I actually gain control of the prince again, because we're locked out during this cutscene. As you can see, just by the layout of the actual game map here, you're meant to climb up a couple of blocks, jump across a ledge, but we're not going to do that. I'm hopefully going to be able to skip all that straight away. So yes, we are already doing time save straight away. If I can get it, and we got it. So that's about maybe 3 seconds, 4 seconds worth of time save, but we've already done that straight away. So while in the first section of the game, there's not really a lot that's happening. So I can start to talk a little bit more about the movement mechanics, which is across short distances, we're mainly going to be rolling a lot. So and in terms of getting past little obstacles like boxes that are smashable, we're going to be running up against a wall just to drop onto the box and smash it straight away. But again, across shorter distances, we're going to just roll because it has a higher acceleration value. In terms of longer distances, I would end up running more, and going downhill, I would run as well because I get straight to the max movement speed. When I can as well, I will be wall running as well, just to make sure I've got the maximum amount of movement speed I can, because a lot of this game relies on optimizing your movement in just general. So straight away, going to go straight into more side rolls. Not what I wanted to do, but okay, because I actually missed a roll. You'll see here that I'm trying to roll chain my rolls by cancelling the roll before the animation actually ends. And there's a good reason for that. It actually is quicker because you get a tiny little teleport for the next roll. So again, not a lot actually happens in this early stages. There's no actual glitches or any, not necessarily tricks, but nothing glitchy happens just yet. Also, you can play with that camera for some reason, and because you're meant to be locked out during this, but as soon as you go through the door, you can switch the landscape and get a little bit of extra free movement, but you are reset into this position here. So don't blink, because I'm going to try and go for a teleport, which I got. So if you run into that corner and jump to the ledge, you will get like a meter's worth of teleportation, which doesn't save a lot of time. But in a game where it's all about optimizing your movement, you do take every little time save that you can get, especially in the any percent category, which is down to under 30 minutes, I think. So I'm going to do another little bit of movement tech there to get up to this ledge. Otherwise I would have to jump around the pillars, which is just slow. But you can wall run across there, and the auto target will take you to the ledge. And the reason I went into landscape camera is because every first action that you do, it will do a slow motion camera, and I don't want to see that. And I can cancel that by going into landscape or changing the camera. So that's what we're trying to get. We are trying to get the dagger of time, which lets us mess with time. And not only does it let us mess with time, it lets us mess with the game a lot. However, because this is zipless, we won't be we won't be using the main glitch of the game, which is zipping. Zipping uses a sand tank, because what we use for zipping is we overload the rewind feature with a lot of little movements, and then that makes us go zoom into areas we're not supposed to be in yet. So I'm going to try to do a skip here, which will save a fair couple of minutes. And I got it first try. Excellent. Happy days. So that's a fair bit of time save there. So we're not meant to be up here yet. We are meant to be here on the way back from the Dagger of Time. So there's the Dagger of Time right there. There you go. There you're seeing it. You don't need to see it anymore. We're not actually going to collect it because we don't need it. So the only reason I've come back up here is to hit a trigger. And the trigger I need to hit is to say, basically start these traps. And once those traps are started, the game knows I'm in the correct place. And it will give us this Dagger of Time when I trigger the next load into the next area, which is right here. So now we've got the Dagger of Time, even though we didn't collect it. The only difference is, if you were to collect the Dagger of Time, we would start with 3 sands. We don't need the sands right now. Besides, we kill enemies here to gain sands anyway. So we don't necessarily need to collect it, we just need to hit the trigger. So I'm going to set up for another glitch here as well. I just need to kill a couple of enemies, and I need to half down one of them. And hopefully this will make me skip through the rest of this fight.
Each time I struck them,
so I want one of these big red dudes because they have the biggest hitbox. So I'm going to you would do that, wouldn't you? I'm going to hit him 3 times, put my sword away, and then I'm so scared of him, I'm just going to run away. And I'm going to go over to this door here. So, where are you? Get over here. That's good enough. Right, so he's now half down, and I'm going to have to be quick about this because he will get back up after a certain amount of time. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to push him into the correct place here to teleport through the door. So the way that works is the enemy's hitbox is so large that we actually have no safe place to land, and the next safe place for us to land is on the other side of that door. No, I don't have a Scottish accent, I have a Geordie accent. So I'm from Newcastle. So I apologise for that. I'm trying to do another skip here where I flip off that wall to get onto this ledge, and then that saves me going around the room onto the lower floor to climb back up to here. So that saves a fair bit of time actually, that little skip there.
Do you have time for a few quick donations?
I have all the time in the world for donations. Please,
Fantastic.
if you ever have a donation, just interrupt me.
All right. We have a $10 donation with no comment from Capitan, so thank you for that. And we have a $20 donation saying, "Hey, it's me, HE3 from chat. So glad to be able to donate to this great charity during a run of arguably the greatest game ever created."
I would like to claim you are wrong on that for 2 reasons. One, this game was programmed by Ubisoft and is incredibly broken, which you will see pretty soon, hopefully. And 2, this game has Farah in it. And while Farah is a great character casually and is very critical to the story, in a speedrun sense, she is terrible because she likes to crash the game. And when I mentioned at the start of the run, I said I was expecting 1 crash to happen. She is the reason for that crash. So if that crash actually does happen, then it just goes to show that, yes, I am right, Farah is terrible. So you can see I'm doing a little bit of weird kind of bounces off walls and attacking with my sword. Those are all the torpedo attacks, and you'll see a very good use of a torpedo attack coming up. What a torpedo attack is you bounce off the wall, torpedo off it, and you actually get a small amount of extra fall distance with it, and that lets you fall into places where you're not supposed to be. It's actually coming up after this cutscene where we actually meet Farah, but none of us actually care. None of the pop speedrunners care for Farah because she, like I say, crashes the game, ruins our life, and turns our hair grey. But I suppose I can go a little bit more in depth about like the glitches that are up and coming, because after I've been through this area, you will see them happen a lot more. And the main glitch that we're going to be using in this run is a glitch that was found by the lad Hanajo, and it's called the first person glitch. So I torpedoed off there just to get a little bit of extra distance, put my sword away because it's faster to run with the sword sheathed. And this is the place I'm going to actually use the torpedo to get down into the area I'm not supposed to be yet. What we do is we torpedo at a certain angle to land on a tiny little door frame, and then we're in the next area. So hopefully, yes, I got it as well. So We're down here, although we shouldn't be, because now we've skipped a lot of load triggers. And because we skipped a lot of load triggers, I'm going to have to do something a little bit stupid here. I'm going to have to die. So we kill ourselves here because we get a checkpoint here, and it just loads the rest of this room. So it's a great place to do that. So hopefully, I'm coming up to this box here because this is the next area. And if you blinked there, you might not have seen what happened. That was an instance of the first person glitch where I hold an item, I go into first person mode, and then I tilt the left analog stick in a certain direction ever so slightly. And that actually causes a fair few weird things to happen. So you'll see me, I'm holding this box, if I can do it correctly. There we go. And I'm now all the way over here with the box. So what that does is, if you're holding an item and you tilt the analog stick left or right, the item will rotate 90 degrees. If I hold back, it will teleport me backwards, like you'll see here, if I can do this correctly as well. And I'm going to shut up for this cutscene, because this is Loud God, and this is a brilliant English accent, if you can hear my sarcasm. So just enjoy this Loud God's accent.
I'll reset the axles for you. The man who's normally in charge of this got...
Never mind.
Ride the platform down to the bottom, then use those two cranks to bring it back up. You see those 4 axles? You'll need to pick them up
One by one, until you've got all 4. Then, bring them up to the top together. Oh, but remember,
Make sure you pick them up in the right order.
you see, now we have to pick up these axles in the correct order, except that takes too long, and I don't want to do that because of actual 2 reasons again. It's slow, and I'm incredibly lazy. So, all I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn this axle all the way back up to where we are with the box, position the box correctly, and then just fly on by. And now we're all the way across the bridge where we really shouldn't be yet, and I'm going to use the box again to teleport through the door. I'm just going to wait for these trap cycles because they do like to be a bit of a pain. That's the lever which I should be using to open the door to get to the next area, but I don't care for doors. We don't care for doors in Prince of Persia. Doors are only a suggestion, along with walls. So I'm just going to go all the way over here, which you're meant to go casually. And I'm going to try to do something that I don't like doing. I'm going to try and actually go through a wall, if I can set this up correctly. Now this may look very weird, and that's because it is. So what we do is we first person glitch to the left on an open-ended ledge, which lets us create an invisible ledge, which we can then use to go through walls and basically walk on air. So yeah, you can see why this game is highly regarded as a very broken game, and I'm an idiot. So I'm just going to rewind that because I'm trying to do something here, which I'm not doing very well, to be honest with you. That's the movement tech I wanted. I don't need that sand cloud. I've got 3 sands. I shouldn't really need to pick up too many sand clouds in this game. So if I do end up with another sand tank, because you need to pick up, I think it's 8 or 9 sand clouds to gain a 5th sand tank and onwards, I shouldn't get any more sand other than 4 sand tanks during the run. If I do manage to get a 5th sand tank, then I've done something really bad. So I'm going to do the first person glitch again here for 2 things. 1, so I can get all the way over here. And this is a little bit of a weird way to do this glitch, but I'm doing it anyway because, you know, I like to do this. That should be okay, I think. And I'm aiming for the door. So as you can see, Prince has got his lovely jazz hands going on, and he's just walking along like he doesn't care. And like I said before, being in that state, we can just walk through walls and walk through doors. We can also do it on levers as well, and now that I've done that, the door will stay open for 3 times as long. So that gives us plenty of time to do what we need to do down here.
Do we have a little bit of time now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, we have a 25 donation from Cold Candor saying, first time finding out about this event, cheers from Seattle. So thank you for that, Cold Candor. I can also say a little bit about our partner streams. We would like to thank ESA for supporting this marathon. Besides providing us with their channel for streaming, they are sharing gear, technical assistance, and sponsors. Be sure to check out ESA Summer from the 20th to the 27th of July. We would also like to thank BSG for supporting this marathon. They hold monthly gatherings in the Netherlands for people in the Benelux region. They have supported UKSG from the beginning by spreading the word and providing us with a channel to stream on in past sessions, among other things. Be sure to catch their 30th event on the weekend of the 15th and the 16th of June.
Alright then, so yes, somebody in the chat noticed it, and I was going to point that out. If you draw your sword before that cutscene starts, then the prince will stab himself in the face, which is not really safe for work, but it's funny to watch anyway. So you'll notice that I've gone straight into landscape cam here, and that's mainly for one reason. Not to get stabbed in the face by that guy. It's because whenever you do a retrieve an enemy, it will do a slow motion camera kind of thing, or it will try to on some cases. I don't want to see that because it's slow, and this auto target is horrible. I should not have lost this much health already. I am going to have a bad time here. Nice double kill. So if I don't take these enemies into the dagger like that, that's the slow motion camera I was on about, then they will just eventually get back up again, and that just wastes a lot of time. So I'm trying to quickly kill these enemies with 2 tricks. Nice double kill again with torpedoes, because that takes them all down in 1 hit. The red enemies I can run over and quick retrieve with the sword dagger combo. The blue ones I can't do that trick on, but I can just torpedo them. I can also do another trick. If you take 2 steps towards an enemy, then you can do a power attack straight away, which knocks them down. And now we're on to the final fight here, which is with the dad. So I'm trying to do a quick combo here, which isn't really working for me. So I need him to do an attack. That's what I wanted. And that's what I wanted, to get the quick kill. Otherwise, that would have taken 10 hits, and he likes to block almost every attack that you do.
I'm sorry.
Why?
I know what it is to lose a father.
That was not.
My father. You can tell I've played this game too much when I know every single line to the cutscenes. Stop! No, we're gonna go. So we're going to skip all this, and then I'm going to force crash the game here. For one reason, it's faster. And it's faster because there is a 1.5 minute cutscene that plays after that save, and we can just skip that entire cutscene by reloading the checkpoint, which we got from that save. So I'm going to take some health here for just safety really, because there's something up and coming that I kind of want to have the extra health for, and there's not really a lot of health regens across the run. So like I said before, the pop community doesn't like Farah, so we just slap her with a sword there for a bit.
You're liable to hit me.
Now there's a good reason that we actually hit her with a sword, and that's going to come up when I get down here. That's not what I wanted to happen. This guy is a pain. So the reason why we hit Farah is because you can see her health on the right hand side there. That is actually on a timer now. That's not what I wanted to do. And because that's on a timer, we actually have to get down to this lever very quickly. So once we open this door with this lever, we will get a checkpoint. And we need to actually game over. Where's the checkpoint? There it is. And we need to reload the save essentially. And we can do that just by restarting the checkpoint. And that's why we hit Farah, so that that timer runs down quickly. This might look a little bit weird, but I'm just going to jump over here for a little bit to get to the next area. Even though it's not where you're meant to go casually, but you can still get up there and it's quick to do so. There's a lot of movement tech into this game where it's just all optimizing your movement. I said this at the start of the run, but it's a case of all the time you're thinking about where can I roll to gain extra movement, where do I have to run to get my max speed, where can I wall run to get the max speed without having to walk and then eventually run into an eventual sprint. Because the way the running animation works is you'll start off at a walking / jog pace, and then you'll eventually build up your momentum to get to max speed.
Again, shall we? It's so quiet out there. It's terrible.
I was trying to do a trick there where you mash into landscape camera when you get into this cutscene. That will allow me to get a little bit of extra movement so that I can go and stand in front of the door for when Farah eventually opens it. I missed it. I deserve to uninstall this game now. So like I said before,
Find a way down
using the sands of time is very weird. I only have 3 sands now, so I'm going to have to take this kind of dangerously, but I do have a checkpoint here. So I'm going to just do it anyway, even though I probably shouldn't. I think I've missed that. Yeah, I've missed that. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to double rewind trick there. You notice after that I rewinded the first 2 times, I got a lot more distance on my wall run. Oh, I did it this time, so fair enough. And the reason why we have to do a double one there is to get all the way over to the other side. So I will not try it again just because of how much time it actually wastes resetting the checkpoint. But if I got in that first try, then yeah, I would have saved a fair couple of minutes. But we do have a backup strat here, which is fairly old, but
What is this place?
I'll just do it anyway.
Find a way down to the bottom.
It's not as cool to show off, to be honest.
Stay there.
No, I'm not the world record holder. I am
I can reach
middle of the
this one.
board, I guess. World record for this category is actually 1 hour 8 minutes, I think. And it's by I think it's Tokaloni1 who still has the record, and he uses a lot of strats in that run which are just not marathon viable. So you won't see me attempt a lot of the tricks that happen in that run. Oop. Wasn't even watching the traps. I should be watching traps. I'm not. It's late. I'm sorry. Fuck's sake. God, it's late. It's late. Leave me be. It's so late that it's rolled right back around to being early again. So that's what you're meant to do casually. Obviously not running into the traps, but
Are you all right?
basically going all the way around to the top here. And this is where I start to do a little bit of skips. So I have to, if I remember correctly, because it's been a while since I've done this skip. I think I have to
There's
pull the
another
lever.
in that
Yeah, I
room.
do.
Do you think you can reach it?
So I have to pull this lever here. This is all casual up to here. But as soon as I get down to the next place, I'm going to jump around an enemy trigger, because at the bottom of this warehouse there will be enemies spawning, but I'm going to jump around that trigger so there's nothing there. And I'm going to have to attempt another rewind trick. So I'm going to have to take a sand cloud that's at the bottom. So the enemy trigger is just in front of me, so I'm going to look over here, not jump like that, because Ubisoft are great at programming. Tell you what, I'll take it safe, I'll just crawl around. Yes, it's slow, but oh well. Right, so I need to line up here quite specifically so that I can land on this railing. Not like that. I'm going to go all the way back to the top of the warehouse now. That's bad. Was not expecting to fail that. That's upsetting. I did not want to fail that because that is actually relatively easy. Even though it's such a small railing, there is a fair hitbox on it. But, yeah, sorry. If you have anything to read out, I'm just going to do the exact same thing again.
Alright.
What is this
We
place?
don't have any new donations, but we have a bit of an incentive if people want to start changing that.
Stay there.
We have some prizes that we have about an hour
I
left
can reach this one.
for one of them. We're giving away a GT Omega Elite office chair. The minimum bid is $25, and that can be spread across multiple donations. And you have to get your donations in before 4 a.m. Our time. And then tomorrow, after that as well, we have a GT Omega Pro office chair that also has the same minimum bid. So you can donate for either of those in the time ranges. Thank you.
No permanent damage, thank you.
Alright, so I've done the casual bit again. There is a little bit of a problem with my analog stick here. You'll notice that when I'm running, I'll stop and walk. The analog stick is not calibrated correctly, and I should have looked into that a bit more. But yeah, it's actually throwing me off a little bit. But I'll power through it. I'll see what I can do. I shouldn't really have that much of a problem with it. It's just in little areas. Gonna line this up, then I can jump. Gonna line this up properly this time. That's not what I wanted. Might be easier to use a keyboard here, actually. Come on, analog stick, play ball. There we go, that's what I wanted. So now, because Farah's all the way at the top and we've left her behind, she's now going to fall down and die. And there's a good reason for that. We need to reset the place because we've left Farah so far behind now that... Excuse me? What are you doing, Farah? There we go. I actually don't know what's happening now. Yeah, this marathon thing, this has never happened before, so I'm going to actually have to load a save, because Farah is in a continuous death state.
My story, as you
Gotta love sound to time, right? I'm going to actually have to go into my zipless saves, which actually has lower sound. Sorry. I'll just quickly up the sound again, because I set everything to about 50% before. Mouse, please. Right, let's have a look. Where am I? I have a lot of saves. A lot of safety saves. A lot of safety saves. Not even close to where I need to be. There I am. That's the one I want. So, controls, please stop being a pain. Sorry about this.
Can I mention a few bits really quick?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to have to reset up my controls because apparently it didn't want to save my actual controller layout.
All right. The next game we have is Monster Rancher 2, and we still have some bids for that. You can name the main character and name the monster as well. We've got a bunch of fun names for... Actually, let me see. For the main character, we have 2 donations for Jude and Olivia. So you can change that pretty quickly if you'd like, or update one of the current ones. So.
Right, okay, now I can do what I need to do again. I do need to actually do something stupid here. I do need to go and get the sand cloud because I have to rewind trick. And whenever I'm rewind trick, English is easy. Whenever I have to do a rewind trick, I require 2 sands. You can get a double rewind trick in 3 sands, however, but it's more consistent to get it in 4. That didn't work. Why didn't that work? That was alright lining. Hang on a minute, what am I even doing? I need to actually move this box first. Because I just realized I can't do the damage boost. Because I fail at this game. Right. Now I know where I am. Line it up. Controller, please. That should work. That should work. Why is it not working? I'm actually having to use a keyboard now because it's just easier. Should be anyway. I'm gonna have to get the other box. I'm not spending too much time on that stupid trick. I could have tried the damage boost, but I'm not going to do it because it's just quite inconsistent. Right, so this is where we were meant to be before. And I'm going to set up just in this doorway here, go into first person and look a certain way, because when the door pushes me into that cutscene, you actually gain movement again. If you were to just run into it, you would be stuck in place for about just a couple of seconds. But it's slow, so we don't do that. And hopefully, if I've done that movement right, Farah will be stuck in that corridor. And she is, and that's exactly what you wanted. As far as we're concerned as speedrunners here, we don't want Farah to follow us, because Farah following us is slow, because you have to carry her through the whole run, essentially. So we leave her behind whenever possible. Line this up correctly, that should be fine. Apparently it's not. I need to save at least one sand here, so I'm going to take this quite carefully. That might work. Yes. Not what I wanted to go, but close enough. There is a small fight there that you're meant to do, but we skip over that by jumping over the palm tree. And I was going to use more first-person teleports with the box, because we're going to do a different version of a first-person teleport now. We're going to hold on to the box, we're going to let go of the box, rewind back to when we were holding the box, and then that saves our state. So that when I first-person glitch backwards now, I'm actually through the door still holding on to the box. But if I walk forward now, which is why I walk backwards, there would have been a cutscene there. And I don't want to watch cutscenes, because cutscenes are slow. So we're just going to walk around that. If I didn't hold onto the box and rewind, when I let go, rewind, hold back onto the box, you would just teleport into that cutscene and it's slow. So hopefully I can get this movement correctly as well. Excellent, happy days. That saves me running all the way around the bird cage and just jumping over pools and stuff like that. It saves a couple of seconds. It's just optimal movement. That is not a wrong statement. Basically, the entirety of this run is leaving Farah behind and trying to get so far away from her that the game forgets that she exists. You laugh, but that is actually true. Because this game has a lot of checks for Farah. Like, we get a lot of game overs because the game loses Farah. But we have to go about it in a certain way that we make the game forget about her, essentially. Or she's locked in a position that when we deload the area, she's fine. And these are scarabs. These are little buggers. So I'm going to kill as many as I can. I want one left alive, though. And I'm going to use him to set up a glitch. So you are going to stay alive because I like you. So you can come over here. Come on, attack me, attack me, attack me, attack me. Dude. 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 Come on. I need you to attack me. Nope, not like that. Come on. It's not working. And I'm stuck in here now. Right, let's set this up again. Because normally I'm standing here with this camera position. Yep, that worked. So what I did there was, I took damage while climbing over a ledge, and now that ledge's coordinates are stored in the game's memory. And that's going to be useful for one reason. I am going to be able to use that ledge storage the next time I climb up a ledge automatically. There's a good reason for that, because when the next time I try to climb up a ledge automatically, it's going to teleport me, try and teleport me anyway, back to that ledge that I've just gotten the ledge storage on. So this is another instance of when we use a rewinded first person glitch. So now you can see that I'm still holding onto the box, even though the box is in a very weird place and still stuck behind the door. But if you just wait a moment, I'm going to perform a magic trick. So as you can see before, the box was in that room. I'm going to do this, and for some reason, the box is now over here. Magic. Don't ask me why that works, it just does. I can't explain why. Like, Ubisoft. That's all I can say in terms of that. There is no reason why that should happen, it just does. So again, first person on the levers because they stay open for 3 times as long, and then that just makes this little corridor easier. We don't necessarily need to do it because this is fairly easy casually, but it's just a quick way to pull the lever, and it's just an added bonus that you get plenty of time to do it after that. You did it. Took us a while, but we did eventually do it. So a great thing about this game, at least from a casual perspective, is that whenever you enter a new area, it will go into those like landscape cutscenes, which are quite beautiful casually, but just waste a lot of time for us. So again, it's a lot more optimizing movement to get up here. I have to block this bird because he likes to kill us, and he's a little bit of a git. So I'm not going to need to take this sand cloud down here. So that's one of the safety sand clouds that you'd normally get, but because I don't need to do that, it's all good, well and good. Doing a little bit of movement here just so that I can jump down here quicker instead of kind of crawling along that little ledge down there. So see, at certain points of like my wall runs, like it's really random times, I will actually cancel the wall run early, but you get a little bit of extra length on it and just drop a little bit. And that's for just speed essentially, because the lower you are when you're going down, it just makes it you land quicker and don't have to go into like a roll animation after it, and you can just carry on at normal pace. I am going to have to take health here because there is a trick that I want to do and I want to show off. And that requires health and a crescent moon tank that you see on the left side of the screen there. So I haven't actually talked about the gauges yet. The yellow circles that you see here, those are the sand gauges, and that's what helps me rewind time essentially. I have to stand all the way over. Just to interrupt what I'm saying, I have to stand over there for a little while to make sure that Farah actually does follow us in this corridor. And I'm taking some weird movement here because I still have ledge storage. And if I climb up a ledge now, I will teleport. And I don't want to use that teleportation yet. I'm saving that for later. So that's why I had to wall run and jump over there. Oh yeah, another thing I should mention. Farah can't shoot you with an arrow. And she has done that to me far too many times. So I'm setting up here in a specific place. I want to get rid of her because she is not the enemy that I want here. That was actually a good animation as well. Nope, that's bad. I slow-mode far too early there. Hopefully one of these guys can launch another attack. Quickly, 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 quickly. Nah. Damn it. I'm going to have to try a backup strat here. If it doesn't work, I'm going to lose ledge storage, but oh well. I can try and get it back. Nah, that didn't work either. I'm going to have to die now. So I'm going to lose ledge storage, but I can try and get it back. Because there is a checkpoint at the base. Again though, because we've reloaded the checkpoint, I have to actually walk all the way down here to make sure Farah follows us. But I am actually going to try and get ledge storage again. It's just because I want to show off the skip. Yes, I think that would have worked. I feel like that would have worked. If not, then it's just a little bit of time lost later on. But hopefully that worked. I don't want you, you're annoying. Like, this is where I want to be. This is the attack I want. So yeah, that is a damage boost. Essentially when you slow-mo time and take damage, your action is amplified. And because of that, you can amplify the jump, and the damage will carry you much higher than you're supposed to be. And there's a reason I'm standing here, because this is the crash I'm expecting to happen. I need Farah to stand in the correct place, and I need the enemies to be far enough away from her here. I heard her move there, so that's good enough. It's the only reason I wanted some decent sound in this game, so I can actually hear her move. So I'm going to reset the camera. It's already in a decent place. Look into this corner. A little bit too far. That looks good to me. Draw my sword and run into this corner until I stop. And then torpedo, like this. Now, that little bit of weird movement there should prevent the crash that's coming up. And if it doesn't, then I am going to be an incredibly sad bear. And we seem to be good. So, the crash that I was expecting to happen hasn't happened. We are good. Happy days. I am very happy right now because that was the one crash I was expecting to happen, and now that it hasn't, I can carry on with a smile on my face. Despite the fact that this run is already terrible. But who cares? We're having fun. At least I'm having fun. Good, at least somebody is. So this is the next sword, and we only need to collect this sword for one reason. For some magical reason, this sword can break down walls. Don't know why, it just can. A lot of this run, you will hear me say, I don't know why, and that's because it's Prince of Persia, it's Ubisoft, it's Sands of Time, it happens. And apparently I didn't have ledge storage, which sucks. Oh well. But it's okay, I can just do a safety strat later. Come on, how far off was I? Not very far. That should work. Yay, there we go. So that just saved a little bit of extra movement that I would have had to do otherwise. It doesn't really save that much time, but again, it's all about saving the seconds in your movement. Now, I need to break down this wall. So I'm going to stand in this corner here to de-aggro the enemies. And unfortunately, he teleported right the way to me. So I'm going to have to wait until they've basically walked away from the pillar, and then I can go into this corner and start to smash this wall. And if the analog stick was playing nicely, I could have done that by now. There we go, that's what I wanted. And if you've noticed as well, Farah is not with us. Farah should be with us here, but she's not. And that is why we would have had lead storage before. But there is actually a check for Farah in this area, and because Farah's not here, right now she will be in a state called Twisted Neck, which is a great state to be in because her neck is twisted in a 180 degree angle. So it's funny to see, but it's also weird to see as well. In terms of getting Farah into Twisted Neck state, we actually do that a lot in this run. When I did after the warehouse, and when I did the palm tree skip, she was also in Twisted Neck state there. You just couldn't see her, which is unfortunate because Twisted Neck state is a very funny thing to see. I'm going to quickly set this up here because I want to jump all the way down to the bottom, which hasn't worked because Ubisoft. I don't need any sand. I don't think. When will my next sand tank be? No, I should be fine, I think. Worst case scenario, I can kill an enemy or two. So Farah should be in that corner there, and as you can see, she is actually in Twisted Neck. Which is great. I love that. Any kind of Farah pain is great. So because she is in Twisted Neck state, we actually need her here, essentially, so I am going to have to take a death. Because there is a checkpoint in that doorway. Just to get Farah back. I know that Farah's back, and we don't like Farah being back, but we kind of need her here. Otherwise, the game will crash. And auto-target in this game is a thing. Not a very good thing, but it is a thing. And the reason why we don't want Farah here is because we would have used this block to teleport with the lead storage all the way over, once it gets round, all the way over there. And that skips us having to wait for Farah here for it to come out over the other edge and stand on a button. So...
Here I am.
yes, we know you're there, Farah. Not that we care. Because we're going to be leaving you behind again in a bit. This is another one of those places where you get locked into a standstill because Farah's doing something. Which again is another reason why we don't like Farah being with us. Oh, and we come up to another fight. Good. So we're going to kill this guy. We're going to kill this guy. Because each of these fights has waves. So you're meant to go through these waves 4 at a time, 4 enemies at a time, and just get to the end of it that way. I'm going to kill those 3 guys, kill this guy, just leave him down, because I just need to smash a wall that's down this corridor, and with the enemies around you, it's hard to do, so you down them all, and then just carry on. I don't necessarily need health, but I'm going to take it anyway, just for safety for later on in the run. A lot of this run, you have to plan very far ahead because you'll, if I can hit a button, you have to think about your health, you have to think about your sand, and when you're actually going to need to take a refill on both, because it's all very scattered in a way of gaining sand back again. So I've did a little trick there against the door. Just ignore this camera angle. This is how it should be. That's a nice rock. But yeah, if you jump in that angle into this room, you get that weird camera angles, which is fun to see. Now, I need Farah to stay alive here. If she doesn't stay alive, I'm going to be incredibly sad. So, because I have to start this room all over again. And already she's down to more than half health. Please don't die, Farah. Oh, I heard her die. Yeah. I'm going to have to rewind back a fair bit just to make sure that Farah's health is somewhat decent. Because I don't want to risk her being on 1 HP and then dying again. So I'm touching this button, standing in this doorway, if I can do it properly. Because I need to leave Farah behind again. The reason to do that is because now the enemies are deloaded. But if you leave Farah in a place where there are enemies, her health will tick down. And if she does, then we die, and then we game over, and then we're incredibly sad after that. So by doing that, standing in a door and letting the door push you out, the enemies deload, but Farah is in a state where she's okay. You're meant to actually go through a whole area to kind of trigger this drawbridge to go down, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to jump on this invisible ledge here, which is fun. And if I can set this up correctly, because I hate this rewind trick. I didn't like that. It worked. It's fine. It's worked. Happy days. So now we don't have to go all the way back down to the mess hall, which would have been a significant time loss. I'm so happy that worked. So you can see with the rewind tricks, your actions get extended by a small amount, and it's very, very useful. in certain places like that. So I don't actually have a slow-mo right now, which is quite sad because I like to have a slow-mo here because I'm going to do another first-person glitch. And I'm going to do a first-person glitch on an open-ended ledge that has a trap running above it. And having slow-mo here makes it a lot easier, but you can do it in fairly decent time anyway without the slow-mo. I had to take a death there because once again I need Farah here, otherwise this next section the game would crash because Ubisoft. And I'm trying to get on this ledge. There we go. That's what I wanted. So now we're just going to jazz hands our way over to the next area. Can I get some jazz hands from the crowds, please? Just to copy what the prince is doing here, because we're going to be jazz handsing for a while here. No, we have surpassed Jesus. We have surpassed Jesus, and we are walking on air with the classic jazz hands. So... How cool is this? I mean, don't we all wish we could be in this state right now? Thank you. I don't know who that was, but thank you for that. So we're not supposed to be here. And this may seem incredibly weird because it is, but yeah. Just a very yeah, the bridge is collapsing, who really cares? I mean, not that we saw much of the bridge anyway, but yeah, press F for pay respects to bridge. He will be missed. And because we've left Farah behind again, we're going to do another save and crash. Because again, we need to reload the area for Farah, but it's actually quicker to save the game, crash it, and then reload it, rather than save, watch the getting up animation, and then die, and then watching the animations again. I'm on the wrong bloody save file because I saved it into the zipless. Because I was on a safety save there. My bad. There we go. That's the right one now. So, I'm not going to attempt a skip here because I'm on a very weird controller right now, so I could have attempted the rob list, which I would have needed a better controller for, essentially, which is a series of jumps which will take you all the way over to this side of the ledge here. And this is where I would have landed with the rob list, and that saves 8 seconds at most. I just saw a message in chat here which says the game is against me this evening. Why just narrow it down to this evening? This game is against me consistently. It's Prince of Persia. It does not want to work with you. And that is not a joke. Like, this game is notorious for crashing unexpectedly, just not doing what it's supposed to do, and just having very bad RNG. So, where we are right now, it's not really that good, to be honest with you. This might be above estimate. Which is sad. Very sad. It's alright, I've been banned for dabbing once before, so it's alright. I was trying to jump around this cutscene, which is unfortunate. But you get to see what this area looks like now, which is fair.
Do you think you could find your way there?
Of course.
Right, so now we need to run all the way over here and start swinging on poles. And I've just realized I've gone the incredibly wrong way. So I'm going to rewind back here. I lied, I didn't actually go the wrong way. I had to hit a load trigger. So you go all the way over there, hit the load trigger, come back over here, first person glitch, and then you're all the way past this area.
That's the first sand creature I run into. Could you direct me to the baths, please? Well, thank you. Don't mention it. I used to be a bath attendant back when I was alive.
Now there's a trick coming up that I really don't like to do because it's very inconsistent for me, but it worked. That torpedo attack doesn't want to work 100% of the time for some reason. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've got a first try there, that's good. So
now. From now on, she'll have to toe the line. That is, assuming I can find her. Oh, have you been waiting here all this time?
there is no actual glitches here, so to say. It's all just optimized movements. So if you're a fan of movement in games, and more so than glitches, this is a section for you.
bad you weren't there.
So I jumped to this beam here because I skipped a cutscene. I jumped around a cutscene, which is just faster. The cutscene lasts a long time, to be honest here. And I failed that jump. I'll take that safe. Not optimal, but I'll take that safe. Drop down here, drop down here, jump. Wait for the bats, and then start killing bats, because these little buggers I hate. These buggers have a habit of ruining runs as well. Did I not walk far enough? Okay, fair enough. I was hoping that when I got to the end of this run, if I had time to actually show off what a zip itself looks like, because while doing the box teleports with the first person glitch, it may look like a zip, but it's not what we define as a zip. I'll see what I come out with the end of this run, and just see what happens. And by the way, I don't like this pot, so this run is now valid, by the way. For some reason, don't know why, I think it was a runner by 7 Eraser 7, determined that that pot must be broken for a run to be valid, and yeah, this run is now valid, so we're now on, this is now technically world record pace because of that pot. Just don't worry about the timer, this is world record pace now. I know I've stopped speaking a fair bit here, but I'm looking for certain points of this place so that I can jazz hands walk all the way to where I need to go, because that's the area over there that I need to be in. And as you can see, it's not loaded. So that's actually quite bad right now. So, I mean, I don't know where the trigger for it is, but it's all the way out here for some random reason. Thank you, Ubisoft, for putting your load triggers so far out of place. And now we're back in the map. So yeah, that's how far the triggers for this place are. Thank you, bats. I knew that was going to happen. I'm actually going to have to take this quite safe now because bats. I hate bats. Everybody hates bats. Nobody likes the bats. Okay. Just going to ignore that. Right, so this is the next area here, and I'm going to have to take a save here for two reasons. One, there's a glitch coming up where I will no longer be able to gain checkpoints, and two, I'd rather very much play it safe right now, because of I have had a problem with this section of the game plenty times in the past, and I'd rather be able to do this with safety, to be honest, so I'm going to take another save here.
Done. I'll start the story from here next time.
So again, I'm going to go onto an open-ended ledge so that I can set up for more jazz hands walking. And I'm going to walk all the way over to where I need to be, which is that rope in the middle. There we go, that's what I wanted. Now, when I get to this rope, I have to be at a specific height, because what I need to do is I need to die on this rope. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, start swinging, and then mash jump. And we've died. Excellent, we've died. That's the next part of the run done. Happy days. We have died, everybody, and we are continuously dead. So this is a zombie glitch. And the great thing about this zombie glitch is spike traps that are on the floor won't activate, and also enemies don't aggro towards you either. So we can now just run through the rest of this place with no interruption from enemies or spike traps. The problem with that is, like I mentioned before, we do not get checkpoints now. So that's where the danger comes in. So if I was to die at any point during this section of the run, I would have to go all the way back to where I took that safety save. I'm going to have to wait for that now, because controller was a little bit of a pain there. Now controller, please don't be a pain when I'm jumping across this, because I do not want to get killed. Because I have 0 health technically, I could trip over my shoelaces and die now. Which I really don't want to happen, because like I said, I go all the way back to the sewers now. Which I really don't want to happen. And this is the most dangerous part of the run, essentially, because the PB run that I have here, which I never went back to fix because I was so angry at the game at the time, I had a death here that cost me 5 minutes because of Farah, essentially. And I had to go all the way back to sewers. So that's why this is the most dangerous part of the run. Because the time loss from this place is just so huge. So I'm going to get some safety sand here.
Help me.
Farah is already dying. Thank you, Farah. You are a great help to us. We're not even in the room, and the enemies shouldn't even be triggered. So thank you for dying. So now that Farah's already lost health, we need to be very quick through this area. And if enemies would play nice, I need to grab hold of this statue, wait for her to move. Now, apparently. Or, to be honest with you, let's just do this. Another one will spawn, yeah, but she's out the way now. And now this guy's in the way. Great. So, dude, move. You're in my way. You're in my way, sir. Sir, you are in my way. Get out. And now I can start first person teleporting again with this item. Oh. There we go. And now it's a little bit safer, because now that Farah is there, the enemies have now been deloaded, so Farah should no longer die. However, Farah is now in its twisted next state. We cannot rewind time here. That's hard to say. If we rewind time now, there we go, got it out eventually. We would get a game over, because the game will check for Farah's location. The game has lost Farah, so the game will confuse itself and then just not know what to do and just force a game over. But because of where we are now, we can only take our safety save, which we took back in the well, and yeah. That's how much time you'd lose. We have to do all this all over again. And it's not over yet. Not over yet at all. So I'm going to just set this up quite specifically, because I want it right there. So now we have to gain health again. I can get 2 healths in here, and that is not very good. Right, I'm going to kill that guy. Slow-mo here. Grab this. First person. And then now that's the worrying bit over. So, what I did there was I had to regain health so that I can get this checkpoint in this area. However, Farah is still not with us. We still cannot rewind time. So I have to play this fight incredibly safe. Otherwise, if I even die, I can't fall off the edge, I can't do anything that would risk me rewinding time. We can still slow down time, but this area is still part of the dangerous area. And this is basically the end of the dangerous part. So, like I say, this is going to go incredibly safe. And I've already lost a fair bit of health, which is not good, not what I wanted at the start of this place. So I'm going to stay around this door as much as I can. And just take kills from the doorway. Because As you can see, there is 2 open-ended ledges there, which you can torpedo off, by the way, which I have done before, and I was not very happy after that. The reason why we take the health here as well is if we need to do this fight for the checkpoint, essentially. But if we didn't take health and try to do this fight, enemies would just be spawning all over this area, and we don't want to do that. Otherwise, we would have to chase them down to get a checkpoint, which is just not something we can do here because of how this area is laid out. But yeah, I'm just going to finish off these guys. If you've got anything to read out, just take yourself away.
Absolutely. We unfortunately don't have any new donations, but I can read a bit about our charity that we're supporting. We are raising money for Young Minds. A recent survey from the charity found that on average 3 students in every classroom have some kind of mental health issue. So all your donations will be going to helping out children that need it to help them get the best education they can. Some of Young Minds' key strategic aims are to foster innovation, to meet the needs of vulnerable and excluded children and young people, promote good mental health to more children and young people than ever before, and champion the voices of young people and parents to influence mental health policy and practice. Thank you for all your donations. And you can definitely get some more donations in. We have about 20 minutes left until the time is cut off for the draw of the GT Omega Elite office chair. The minimum bid for that is $25, and you can add to previous donations that you've done. You can also donate for upcoming bids for Monster Rancher 2, Digimon World DS, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Monster Rancher is coming up right after this, and you can name the main character or name the monster. So.
Alright, so this is a whole thing here. You're meant to go all the way around, activate all these levers, and in order to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for here, trigger the next area. But we don't want to do that because that is slow. So I'm trying to set up for a first-person glitch here to turn around properly, but it's not working for some reason. So I'm going to try setting this up again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it was actually quite high, to be honest with you. So that's what I want. That's the state I want to be in. So I can wall jump up to here. And then pull the lever to open the door. So the only casual way we can get this lever is by doing this whole puzzle thing, which just takes far too long to do. So thank God we have the first-person glitch.
Here I come!
At least the prince is having fun as well. I'm glad at least somebody's enjoying the run. So yeah, once I took the checkpoint at the start of this place, I did have to save and die so that we can reload Farah in here again, because we need Farah here essentially for this lever. That's the only reason we need her.
Try pulling that lever.
Thank you, Farah. You've done your job. For once.
Do you think I can jump it?
Go on, try. What's the worst that can happen? There you go.
I mean, I would have liked the worst to happen. But, you know, Farah, she has to get some kind of attention. Well, I guess the worst did happen. Right, I'm just going to watch that cycle. So I'm going to try something here which... It worked! I got first person 1 FPS lever in a marathon. That is not even possible. What the hell? And I just keep dying to this thing because I'm out of time. I'm out of sync now, so... I'm actually really excited I got that because I have only ever been able to do that once, ever. And the only person who can actually get that semi-consistently is a runner by Epic Dude guy, and it's actually called a Robbie strat. It's a Robbie strat because only Robbie can do it. So, yep, we're at another fight here. We don't care for fights, so we're just going to try and skip it. There is a method of skipping this fight that I did for the segmented run, which was shown at last year's ESA Summer 18, that involves another type of enemy hitbox trick that I spent far too long on and almost bashed my head against a brick wall doing, because the enemies here are incredibly dangerous. I can't stress that enough. And I'm trying to wall run on this wall here, to stand on this fence, but it's quite a precise wall run, and it's not wanting to work for me. Don't know why. Because Ubisoft, I guess. Should work. There we go. First person, so I can look this way, and then I can wall run across here. So we're doing this over to open the door that's down at the bottom. Basically, this will open the door for us to continue on, and also open the door for Farah. I'm sorry, we have to open the door for Farah because we need her later on. Otherwise, I would happily leave her in there. So I'm going to do a trick to try and get down the fast way. I'm going to start right here. It's right here, I'm sure. Nope, it's not, apparently. So I'm going to have to do this the slow way. Which is there, and now I can go into here. And I need this palm tree to get out the way, so I can start to look right there. And that is actually really hard to do, because that wall run is incredibly precise. You need to stop wall running to get low enough to jump onto the ledge, which is very, very thin. I'm glad I got that first try, otherwise that would have been very sad. But no, that's a very hard trick to do. And because of my sand gauge, I'm actually going to have to take another sand cloud here. Because I am in the up and coming area, I am going to need at least 2 sands for another rewind trick. And there's no other place I can get sand from here on out. And I'm getting very close to a 5th sand tank here, which I don't want at all. Now, there is something weird about this area, and I really hope it doesn't happen. Farah can just jump into the void for no reason whatsoever. I really hope that it doesn't happen, but if it does, I'm sorry. Okay, that's not what I wanted to happen. I can actually run all the way to it. Or not. There we go, that's what I wanted. So I still have 2 sands, which is what I need to do the rewind trick that's coming up. It's a very hard rewind trick to do, but it's fine. I can do it with 2 sands. So as you've noticed from the start of the run, the prince has progressively been getting less and less dressed. And because this is a Prince of Persia game, he's going to take off his entire top layer from the waist up. Because story, I guess? I mean, yeah, essentially it's Prince of Persia fan service. So yeah, are we allowed to show that on stream? The prince taking off his shirts? It was fine for Warrior Within, wasn't it? Cut the run. Stop. Too much fan service. My father's palace was prison much like this.
I had never set foot inside. Now here I was, myself a prisoner, seeking an escape.
If anybody knows the scene to Magic Mike, can you just put it on the background for this? So yeah, we're going to be shirtless prince for basically the rest of the run. There's not really a lot going on here until we get to the rewind trick, but that should be coming up fairly soon. But there is something else that I want to show off here as well in the prison, which is another type of damage boost. Hopefully I can get it, because it is a very good damage boost, and it shows just how high the damage boost throws you. But let's try and get past the rewind trick first, because every time you fail this rewind trick coming up here, you waste a minute of getting back down to here. Get over here. There we go. Nope, that's not going to work. You should be going into the wall a little bit, to be honest with you. So, because that's not happened the same way that I'm used to it happening, I might just have to do this entire area casually. Or as casually as you can get it with first-person glitches. But yeah, I'm just going to get down to the bottom, do a little bit of a fight, so if you've got anything to read out, please take it away, as there's not really much more I can do here, because that didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen. It might be the power of the PC that did that, but I'm not sure why that happened like that, to be honest with you. But it's something for me to figure out.
All right. Well, we have a $25 donation from Darkfire52. Thank you so much for that. That puts Darkfire in the draw for the GT Omega Elite office chair. You still have about 15 minutes left to 14 minutes left to get a donation in for that. Minimum bid is $25.
So yeah, I'm actually going to have to waste time by doing this fight. Normally we can skip this fight by doing the first-person glitch into the next area. But unfortunately, I am going to have to do this, yeah. So I'm going to knock that guy down, just so that he stays out of my way as much as possible while I just teleport this. Please, box. Dude, stay out of my way. Oh, I forgot he can't be torpedoed. He might be 100% in my way now. God damn you. Take this over here. And there we go, door's open. Actually, I should probably take a health some point. But it's alright, I can take a health in the next area. So this is where we would be if we got the rewind trick. All the way down here. There should be some water somewhere around here, I think. Apparently not. Oh well, doesn't matter.
It was the first
What's my
time
sounds
I've
like?
seen
Sounds are
such
fine.
devices at close range. Close enough to touch.
Sorry, I messed up the
Whenever
first person
the men
glitch there.
whose
Now the
trade
prince is
is
having a
in
tough time
the
grabbing hold of the lever again.
To extract the answer their king sought. If indeed there was
First
one.
person glitching is actually relatively
In the
hard
end,
because
they
you
had
have to
met the
be
same
very
fate
precise
as
with
their
your analog
equals.
stick.
Guards and prisoners made equal on the sands of time.
Right, so I'm going to set up for the damage boost here. There we go. That shows off just how high the damage boost goes, and it goes even higher than that. So yeah, I'm glad I actually got that, because that is a great way of showing off just what a damage boost is, essentially. We actually are coming up to the last part of the run, so this actually, where we are right now, this might be close to estimate. So we'll have to see what happens when I get there. So I was worried at the start that this might be above estimate, but where we are right now, I think we should be fine. So at the start of this here, I'm going to get a checkpoint as soon as I'm done climbing these ladders, which I love here, because the rewind trick coming up is the easiest rewind trick in the game, but it's the one I have the most problems on for some reason. So I'm going to rewind trick this, hopefully, and trigger the switch. That's not good. Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah. So that's the problem with this this rewind trick here. The enemies are still moving around and can still hit you while you're in the cutscene. So that's what happened there.
We have a quick donation, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we have a $5 donation from Capitan, who put the money toward naming the monster Olivia in Monster Rancher 2. Feel free to donate towards that, because that game is coming up after this.
So I'm just trying to rewind trick this again. I'm having a little bit of issues with it, because this game does not like rewind glitching. Yeah, I'm just having a little bit of problems with it. The problem with rewinding is it doesn't always stop on the same frame, and that's what I'm having a problem with. Sometimes it'll drag you a few more frames back, and the way you have to do a rewind trick is you have to land on essentially the same frame that you started on. That's a bit low. Yeah, had a feeling. I do actually need to hit this button because I need Farah to follow us as well. So I can't even cheat by zipping. Not that I would cheat by zipping anyway, because zipping is filthy. But these enemies are a royal pain. There we go, got it that time. Please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. Thank God he did a slow attack. Right, so Farah, please follow us. We need you to follow us right here. And I'm going to have to play it safe because of birds and health. So I'm just going to slowly walk around here. But thankfully Farah is actually following us. If Farah doesn't follow us, then we will just get a consistent screen later on in the run. In this corridor here. So I'm going to take the sand cloud for the extra sand and safety. I shouldn't need any more sand clouds after this one. I don't think there actually are any. But I'm going to run into here now. I did say that I was, before I even started this run, I did say that I wanted to attempt a skip here, which will save 3 minutes. But because of where we are on the estimate right now, I'm not even going to attempt that, just in case I lose so much time here. Which is unfortunate, because I want to show off how we can actually skip this entire elevator fight. It's incredibly hard to do. But, yeah. Sorry about that. But I'm just going to spend a lot of time doing this fight here. So we've got a long fight coming up. If you have anything to mention, anything to say, please do take it away, because, well, we've got this fight coming up, and then we've got an unskippable 2.5 minute cutscene coming up as well. So yeah, a lot going on. Not.
Alrighty. First off, we have a $25 donation from BCA, who's a friend of mine. So they just say, awesome cause, great host. So thanks.
Yay, speedrun friends. I've just had a look at the donation total as well, and we are at a 985. So that is incredibly close to $1,000. And if we could reach $1,000 by well, not necessarily 4 o'clock, but by the end of this run, I think I would be incredibly happy with that, to see that happen in my run. Thank you all so much for donating this amount already, but if we could push it just a tiny bit more, I will be ever so grateful. So the problem about this elevator is that Farah likes to get attacked a lot, and you can see here that there's already 2 enemies on here. We want to... Oh Christ! That was great and also terrible at the same time. Because while it knocked down a lot of enemies, I didn't want to be over here when that happened, because Farah took a fair bit of damage there. And I'm incredibly scared. Guy on the right, Polster, give us a wave. Fine then, give us a dab. Wave or dab, your choice. So a lot of these enemies all have the same kind of combinations to beat them. These big guys with the hammers, they can't be torpedoed. That's not the guy I wanted to run over, Prince. We are 2 enemies away from making this fight free. Not what I wanted. So this is a mega freeze, and when you were playing this game casually, at least when I was playing casually as a kid, I didn't know that this was an ability, and you needed to have full sand tanks or full sand gauges to be able to do this. And yeah, I just cleaned up the last half of the fight by using that skill, so it's great to have. And because I didn't know that was a thing that you can do casually, and I did every fight as a kid anyway. This fight in particular was incredibly hard, but it's so much easier once you get Mega Freeze, because it's a case of all enemies are stuck in that position and you just kill them in 2 hits. So, I don't know if this is intentional, but I don't think Ubisoft wanted us to continue on from this part of the run, because as you can see, I get stuck at this height, and the switch is higher than this height that we can get. So, thank you, Ubisoft, for putting that switch just out of reach of us. I mean, that must have been intentional. I can only assume it was.
The hourglass is nearby. I can feel it.
So we're at the hourglass here. The
Can't
whole
explain
story
it.
of this game is the prince releases the sands of time, turns everybody into a zombie, and goes to find the hourglass again, which is this big thing up in here, to stab a dagger into it to reverse the sands of time, essentially. So now that we're here, apparently we should be above estimate, but let's just see what happens in terms of story there. But yeah, like I say, as soon as we get to here, there's a 2.5 minute cutscene that I don't want to do that we can't skip. Analog stick, please. I should have calibrated the controller correctly. That's my fault there. So this is the cutscene that we can't skip. So, we're all going to be here a while. So, how is everybody doing? There's literally nothing we can do here other than watch this cutscene. Even or donate $15, yes, to push us over 1,000, to push us to 1,000. That would just be amazing. Thank you, Jack, as well. At least that was more entertaining than this part of the game. So, I mentioned before that the any percent part of this run is like 30 minutes. Half of like 1/5 of that is this cutscene. So that just shows how long this cutscene is in terms of the actual 80% category. But if we have absolutely anything at all to take away, please do, because we're going to be here a while.
I'll talk a little bit about our charity. We're raising money for in support of Young Minds, a charity leading the fight for a future where all young minds are supported and empowered, whatever the challenge is. Your donations help to make sure young people get the best possible mental health support and have the resilience to overcome life's difficulties. Oh!
Yes!
We
Yes!
passed 1,000.
You are brave and good.
Thank you so much.
Tomb is to be ours.
We have a $16 donation from Anonymous saying, over 1,000, you say?
And
Thank you so much, Anonymous. That is great to see. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat who's donated.
Let's get to Leet.
what is it?
Yes, next order is now Leet.
You're trembling.
I just don't like close spaces.
That's
There must be some way out.
1,337, I think, it spells Leet, so that is the next target. We're still in this cutscene, by the way. I'm sorry.
Afraid. All I have to do is speak that word. And a magic door.
I mean,
I've never
I really don't know what else to say. I'm sorry for this. I should have mentioned this at the start of the run, that there is going to be a very long cutscene that I cannot skip. So if you saved up anything, please take it here.
It's no problem. We have just 2 minutes left on the, maybe even 1 minute left on the, to enter the draw for the GT Omega Elite Office Chair. So $25 is the minimum bid for that, and it's additive, so you can donate on a previous donation for that.
So if you like long, drawn-out cutscenes, I hope you're going to enjoy long, drawn-out stairs as well. So yeah, this is a very slow part of the game. So believe it or not, actually, in fact, all I'm going to tell you now is just a complete lie. I made this up before I started my run, but apparently this is RNG manipulation for the corridor section when we get to the end of this staircase here. That is a complete lie. It's the same RNG every single time. You just have to apparently listen for waterfall, which I didn't know as a kid. But apparently there's water dripping out of every correct door, so that's a thing that I learned after starting speedrunning this game, after I already memorized the combination. But yeah, a little side note, as you can see here, there's a lot of doorways, and there's a correct sequence of doors to walk through to get to the next area. As a kid, I didn't know about the water trick, so I had a full, several A4 sheets of paper with GTA style worth of cheats and just lists of every single doorway, how many times I walked into it, where to go next, just trying to understand this puzzle, because I did not hear the water. So the puzzle is across, two to the left, across for the bottom floor,
Where are you?
then one more across here.
I don't see you.
And now we're on the top floor, which is just 4 to the right,
All right,
4 to
this
the
is
right
getting
again,
ridiculous.
and then, no, 4 to the right, 2 to the right, and then
Farah?
4 to the right again.
Take me in your arms.
And if the analog stick worked properly, I should be running there.
You
But because I'm not, I'm having to roll. So,
Farah!
I need to remember to take my sword out here for one reason. Well, two actually. The prince walks funny when he has no sword out. But because the sword is now, when the game transitions here, it saves the prince's state, so it saves the health, saves the sands, even though we no longer have the dagger. But it also saves the state of where the prince will continue to have his sword out. But because he loses his weapons,
No.
it's kind of weird because even though we're in the fighting stance, we don't have our sword. So, but we can still combo in action, which I'm going to do to skip a doorway later on. Well, after I've gotten around these enemies in this corridor here. So, you can see that big red pillar of light there. That is where the final sword is. We're not going to pick that up, it's slow. So, because I've drawn the sword out, I'm going to now smash this door with my bare fists. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Fist smash. The prince is a god. The prince is Saitama, confirmed. Yeah, so Farah is actually the culprit of stealing our weapons, unfortunately. So we've gone through this whole adventure with her. I know we've left her behind a lot of the time, but we've had this whole adventure with her. And she just goes and leaves us, steals our swords, you know. I mean, that's a very nasty thing to do, isn't it? So we're just going to have to chase her down. And I might have to put a sword in her later for betraying us and stealing our weapons. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, that's the third sword that we were supposed to pick up in the library. We didn't pick it up because we skipped the entire area. So yeah, Farah somehow has a third sword. We have our second sword back somehow. And later on when we get to the quote-unquote last fight, we will have the final sword that was in that big red pillar of light that we never picked up. So again, because we have no dagger, this area is incredibly dangerous because we can't rewind time at all. So I'm trying to play it a little bit safe with my first person glitching. And I'm off. Yeah, I'm going to die there. I thought it looked far enough, but apparently I didn't. But thankfully it's not too much of a checkpoint away, so I'm only back down here now. And because we've died here, we've skipped cutscenes now. Well, some cutscenes. Right, I'm actually going to do this way. I'm going to go right the way into this corner. Look a little bit further. How's that looking? I think that should be alright. Why is that not doing it as far as it should? I'm confused.
That's not how it happened.
I'm confused. I'm looking where I normally do.
She must be using the dagger.
But yeah, this entire section of the game, up until like the last fight, is all just movement based. Which is actually some really cool movement. I like the movement up to there, so that's really cool to see. I'm gonna try this. That's what I didn't want to happen. That's why I'm looking further than a lot further than that, because if you don't look far enough there, you will fall down. Because first-person glitching is still quite a risky strat. But yeah, this is going to send us quite a bit above estimate this, yeah. I hope I do. Do I got this? Now I'm having problems with enemies. There we go, got it. Yeah, I set this estimate quite high because I was expecting a 1 crash to happen, which didn't happen, but I've had a lot of bad luck this run as well, which is pushing us above estimate, so I'm sorry for that. Right, that should be alright. Look a little bit there. That should be alright. There we go. Yay! It's still not safe yet, though. Still not safe, because we're going to have more bats. And I'm going to take that bat section just safe, because I don't want to die to bats, because that is an incredibly massive time loss. Because I will go all the way back down to where my previous checkpoints were. There we go. Now the first person's worked. So more jazz hands on the way. And now we're into where we should be. So this is a section filled with bats, and I'm going to actually stay at the bottom of here and just kill these bats, because they can hit you while you're climbing up the ladders, and it's a very, very, very tight window. They even hit me there when I hit them, so what can I do there? Nothing. But if I had died here, I would have gone all the way back to the checkpoint that I had before, so that's why I'm taking this relatively safe. And now they're away. Happy days. And you gotta love the camera's angle that this game gives. It's just brilliant. I mean, they can tell they really tested this game when they put it out. So now that we've passed bats, there's a checkpoint there, so this is going to be a little bit more safe. So I'm going to do one more first person glitch here. Just going to get all the way to this edge here. So take my sword out, look to the left, and first person glitch to the right, and just climb up on this invisible ledge. I'm going to do another first person glitch here because it's quick, easy, just to climb up that ledge. Saves me climbing all the way around. Jump at the end there. Imagine falling down on a ledge. I speedrun this game. Trust me, I do. So the problem is, because we didn't kill any of the enemies, they are now going to start spawning in places I don't want them to spawn. And yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Just got massively cooked by the enemy there. But there is a checkpoint right here, thankfully. They realized at the very end of the game that there wasn't a lot of checkpoints, so they just put checkpoints in, they scattered them around here. There's a checkpoint right there, and there's another checkpoint right here as well. So, yeah. They put a lot of thought in this checkpoint system, having two checkpoints right very close together right there. So we're almost to the final fight. We're already 2 minutes above estimate, but this is the final, technically, mob fight of the game. We've got this, and then we've got the final fight with the Vizier, even though it's not really a fight. It's more of just a, let's slap an old man around with a sword for a bit. But this is the last hard fight of the game, which can be verified by a runner of this game, 70807, who grinded this fight for the segmented run, and he might have went a little bit crazy over that. So yes, Farah's betrayed us. She stole the dagger. We're trying to save her. We don't like Farah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sit back, put the controller down, and just enjoy this as much as we can. Farah carpet achieved. Farah, no. Farah, yes. Oh yeah, and there's no sound in the dagger because she used it all. So she kind of just killed herself in a way. So, yeah. I mean, we kind of been asking for that the entire run, so it's glad to see that we get it at the end of it. Or near enough the end of it. I'm getting a lot of nice free hits in here, which is always nice. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is the problem with this fight. If you're not quick, then you'll take a death, yeah. But cutscenes, skip them. I don't have a lot of health either, so I probably should have taken that a lot safer than I was. But I was having a really good start to the fight there, so I took what I could. I'm getting a lot of free slaps in here. Normally these enemies will block almost every single attack that you do, which is why we have to torpedo a lot, and that enemy's stuck in a stance. Great, happy days. He's stuck there for a while. There we go. Nice auto-target game. Let me torpedo. I kind of want them to do those like low sweeping attacks because they can knock each other down with those attacks, and I can get a free sand from it. And having a sand at this point would just be very nice, because what they can do is you can torpedo into one of their attacks, and because of how the attack works, the attack itself just kills you despite the fact that you're in a torpedo animation. I don't like this. Just like that, and I've got a free sand now. Happy days, so I've got a little bit of safety here. That's the attack I'm on about, the double over the head sweep attack. Because that will kill me. And even if I'm at full health, like just that there, even if I'm at full health, that will essentially almost one-shot me. Not what I wanted to do, game. I would have liked a free slap there for the last enemy. I'm going to save and crash again, because there is another cutscene coming up. It's quicker to skip the cutscene by crashing it and reloading the save, so we're just going to quickly do that. Remember to take the right save file this time. So this is the final boss of the game. So I know what you're expecting. Final boss of the game. It's going to have some kind of twist to the fight, or it's going to have something. I don't know, some kind of incredible attack or something. He's a vizier, he's meant to be a magical entity or something like that. But no, there's nothing to it. So this is the entire strat of this fight. I hope you like running over enemies, because I'm going to be here a while. Incredibly designed final boss fight. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do here. Oh, I might just do that. So, we've defeated them. But there's actually 3 stages of this fight. We have to do this 3 times.
Let him be brought before my father. He will judge. Vizier, I have commanded you to stop. Do you disobey?
I've taken orders.
Oh no, I took damage.
From a senile fool and sniveling.
But yeah, this is an incredibly hard boss fight, as you can see here. Right, so we're on to the final phase of him, and as you've noticed, if any of you have actually remembered from when I did the elevator fight, I have full sand tanks and full
Careful.
half
Don't
moons
tire
is what we
yourself.
call them anyway, because they do look like half moons. So I can now go into mega freeze for this final phase, and I can just sit here and spam attack and just basically essentially wipe him out. Eventually. It still takes a lot of hits. And then we can just slap an old man with a sword.
And so it ends. How will the Maharaja feel when he finds his only daughter slain by the son of his enemy?
I've played this game far too much, I'm sorry.
Do you have any last words you wish me to communicate to the princess before I kill her? Words of love?
Right, so this is actually the final part of the game. An old man standing there. What are we going to do? We're going to stab him, slap him twice, and stab him again. And that's time. I mean, elderly abuse, man. What are you going to do? So, yeah, that is Prince of Persia Sands of Time. A fair bit above estimate. I am sorry for that, but I've had a lot of bad luck during this run. It's actually, despite the amount of complaining that I've done across this run, it's still a very fun run to do, and it's a fun run to pick up. Do I have time to show off what an actual zip looks like in this game, so that we can show off why zipless is so different, or? We got 5 minutes. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna look for a specific save here because I know for a fact I'll have sands right about. I'm gonna look all the way down here because I want sand, and I want an open area where I can show off what a zip looks like. Not Death of Sand King. Not Secret Passage. Yes, I have Unleashed Sands. This is what I want to do. So, I am right here. I'm going to take this guy's sands. Just going to get 4 sands here. And then I'll just show off quickly what a zip looks like. And then just so that you can see exactly how different this game is. So I'm going to knock this guy down. So, I'm going to stand right here. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 34, 56, 70. That should be enough. So I'm going to do a lot of tiny little steps there. And I'm just going to hold rewind. And if this works, you'll see just how much a zip affects it. But it hasn't. So I've got 2 more sands to go through. So let's do... That should do it. I've overstepped by a long margin there, but that should work. So what a zip is, it overloads a rewind feature, so it amplifies every single movement. And because there's no collision when you're rewinding time, you can just go so far out of bounds that, yeah, I've gone so far out of bounds there that I've literally outside of the map now. So it got an instant game over. But that's essentially what a zip is, and we can use that to go through a lot of things. Like the skip here is to get 4 sands, I think, or so, and use the zip to go through this doorway coming up here. And I'll quickly show off the strat here that I could do if I was doing the any % category, just to show off what a zip would look like in a run. I'm just going to take this fairly simply.
Prince, use the dagger.
Right, so I'm just going to stop right here. So I'm going to... There we go, that should do. So, this should push me through the door, I think. Or I might be standing too far away from it. Yeah, I'm standing too far away from the door. So, let's just run into the door for a little bit. That should be enough. That should be plenty. And then that's how a zip would look in this game, just by using steps. And now we're already in the next area. So that whole shabacle that I did at the start of the run, down in an enemy, putting them in the correct place, that's obsolete in this run. A lot of the stuff we use in zip is obsolete due to zipping, because it's just so fast. And the sand route in this game is so well planned out that you essentially land on a sand cloud, pick up the sand cloud, zip to the next one, pick that up, and then you're just going sand cloud to sand cloud to sand cloud, essentially. But while hitting certain triggers, of course. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for everybody who donated and pushed us above $1,000. Thank you so much for that. Up next we have Monster Rancher 2 with Dijacker Hearts. So if you're hyped for that, stick around and I'll see you guys in a bit.
you stare at me the same. You took one look, but you play me like a game. You took one look and now you stare at me the same. You took one look, but you play me like a game.
All right, welcome back to UKSG Summer. GrizzzzBear just finished up a great run of any percent zipless Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, and we had a donation at the very end there. $35 from Anonymous says, "Thank you for the runs." Thank you, Anonymous, for the donation. Coming up next is Monster Rancher 2 from the Jack of Hearts.